All right, right. We got the recording going. Let me share my screen. And we are good to go. All right. Everybody see that okay? So we're gonna talk about how to build engagement without being self-promotional. This is super important, the without being self-promotional. And we're going to get into the different nuances of it. You know, you want to be able to have a conversation with your target audience, with your tribe, the people that you started your business to help. These are the people that you talk to throughout all of your marketing process, throughout all of your sales process. You have just this group of people in mind. We're not selling to everybody. And I think that's if you don't get anything else from me today, take that. And we're not selling to everybody. So when we talk about, at the very beginning of this, I like to talk about spam and what is spam, because this is a growing question. So spam is unsolicited, usually commercial messages such as emails, text messages, or internet posts sent to a large number of recipients or posted in a large number of places. So if you got a message and you want to highlight your business and you want to share it all over the place, that's spam. If you send it a bunch of messages, DMs to people, and you're sending your pitch, that's spam. If you're posting, trying to educate people, that's spam because they didn't ask you for the education, right? So, excuse me, posting for attention, just posting to show how smart you are, posted with really no point of why you're putting this information out. Trying to talk to everybody, like I said before, posting ads and you're not really trying to solve a problem, posting to educate, DMing your pitch, posting to tell the world that you're great. You just patting yourself on the back and it's like, here's all the great things about me and here's why you should give me your money. You're not going to get any customers that way. All you're doing is annoying everybody that happens to be connected to you. So stop today. Stop if you've been doing it. Spamming will never get you the results. What you want to do is attract your audience. You want to build your brand to the point where people come to you and they like doing business with you, like being around you. They're here to connect with you in the best way. So let me just stop that and do that. So you want to be able to have solid conversations, and that starts in your marketing. So when Meeseeks is a Rick and Morty character, right? So I call people who spam Meeseeks because you're showing up and you're just saying, look at me, look at me. This is not the proper way to do business. You don't want to stand on a chair and have everybody look at you. What you want to do is attract the right people, and because they like your core values, because they understand who you are as a person, the message that you're putting out, they want to connect with you, they want to grow with you, and most importantly, they want to start that conversation of your customer journey. So then what's the point of posting if we're not doing all that, right? So I'm not an influencer. I don't care about likes. I'm not running for office. I have no need to be popular. So why am I putting out all this information, this content? So the point is to attract your tribe, to attract like minds, to attract the people who need your help. You need to build genuine connections. You want to earn trust and show your expertise. So you're putting out content in a way that feels good and it makes sense. And here's the problem that I can solve. And here's why this is important to me. And which is helping you. And this is why I'm in this business. This is why I started everything. So as you talk to the right people about the things that they need, now it's a conversation that people can participate in. And it's not just you flashing your resume. So all of this starts with you. So you have to be authentic. You're going to hear me say a certain things, no matter what kind of presentation this is, what kind of workshop I put together. You're going to hear me talk about authenticity every time, because you have to be yourself. You don't want to build your brand based on what you think people may want sometimes, possibly. You want to build your brand based on who you are and who you can show up consistently as. So if you are this person, be this person, and you being you will attract people naturally. You will attract your tribe, and they will appreciate you for that. So when you are authentic, when you are your authentic self, you have no competition. So it's not you against the world. It is not you against anybody else that does anything similar to you. It is you being yourself, and certain people will rock with you just because they like you, and you can provide the service, and you smart and you knowledgeable on the topic, and it's a good conversation. So now I want you to service me as opposed to anybody else. So when we look at your market, my market, doesn't matter what you sell. 30% will not take it if it was free. Another 30 just not interested in what you have to offer. So that's 60% of the market who's not going to do business with you, regardless of how pretty your logo is or how many times you post. They just don't like you for whatever reason. 30%, they're interested, just not right now. They got other things to get in order. 7% are very open to buying. They're ready to start the conversation. And 3% we're looking for you, and you just happen to show up. And that's the perfect storm when you run into that 3%. So now this 40% of the market, this is who we focus on, because these are the people who will do business with us. So now when we talk about building out your customer journey, when we talk about building out your marketing and connecting with people and having a conversation, these are the people that you're talking to in your messaging. So this 40% is your target audience. These are only people that you're talking to. So now when we're talking about attracting your tribe, attracting like minds, this is the 40% that you had a conversation with, right? We need to earn their trust, right? We need to show them that we know what we're talking about. We need to build genuine connections with this part of the audience, because all of our customers are in this audience. So let's have real conversations with them of something that's relatable. And the more relatable it is, the more that you are not everybody else. So now the competition goes away just because they like your message and they like how you put it together. And now you can actually help them, most importantly. So when we talk about the end game of it, this is the whole point of marketing and branding, is to have this conversation with the people who will do business with you. It's not to convince people who will never do business with you that you are okay or you're a good person. They're not going to do business with you, whatever, no matter how convincing your argument is. So don't waste your time talking to them. Talk to your people, talk to your tribe. So when we talk about the different metrics, especially on Alignable, of how you measure, what are we measuring, right? What are we looking at? So where do we look? Where are we having a conversation is super important. So how many connection requests are you getting? How many messages are you getting? How many new alliances have you joined, and you going to quick connects and having conversations? So you want to be able to look at the activity that you're having. You got to be engaged in order to build engagement. You can't build engagement if you're not in the game. So the more engaged you are, the more opportunities you have to connect with people and have great conversations. So now when we talk about how often you're posting and how many people are connecting with you, right? Let's look at just the number of views as the potential. So this is mine from probably 2 months ago. So I'm at 1.4 million views on 140 posts. So it's not like I'm putting out a whole lot of content. The people who are engaging with it, there are only 450 comments and replies, only 1.5 thousand likes. So I'm not an influencer. I'm not doing this for likes and comments. I'm doing this to attract my clients so that they will have a conversation with me. It's very important that we all understand that, that the metrics that we are tracking is not of the social media variety, but as a business. So how many opportunities am I creating to have sales conversations? How many people are seeking me out to have a conversation with me? So let me play this video for you about content. This is a super dope video.
Woke up and asked myself, what's something that I and other YouTubers are secretly taught that most people online do not know, especially if they're growing their TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitch. And I realized it's this three-pronged style of content that every YouTuber is taught that most people just don't even know exists. And it's a great way to schedule your videos and also get a new audience. It's called Help, Hub, and Hero content. Hero content is the first thing we'll talk about, which is basically your best stuff, your creative vision, your brand. This is the video that if someone said, hey, show me a video of what you do, you would show them this. But you can't do it all the time because they're usually a little bit more high production, harder to make. And so those are things your fans look forward to. The daily recurring content that keeps your fans coming back and a part of the community is your hub content. You have to have that as a baseline for people to expect and enjoy you as a growing part of the community. Lastly, help content, which helps people whether they know you or not and is constantly valuable, whether on the search algorithm or anyone looking for that topic. And that brings new viewers to you as well.
He explains this perfectly. This is why I use this video over and over again, right? Help, hub, and hero content should be your focus. This is how you go about putting out your content from now on. Make sure that you are checking these 3 boxes. So he's explaining it from a YouTube viewpoint, right? And putting out videos. But for all of your content, this is what you should have in mind. So your hub content is things that you care about, things that are relatable to you. If it resonates with you, then it'll resonate with your tribe. So if you like it, then the people who like you will like it too. is very, very easy math, right? Help content is, here's a problem that you have, and here's my recommendation on solving. We're not giving away the ship, right? So you're not telling them everything that you know on the subject matter, but what you're doing is exposing the fact that they don't know anything about it. So you are an expert at what you do. The people who will need you are not. So any advice, anything that you can highlight to show them that they don't know what they're doing, you need to do. So when we talk about the help content, you know, okay, so here are 5 things, here are 5 problems that you're having because of X, and then you explain it, right? So that's a post, that's a blog that you can put out or whatever. So people get a chance, and as they reading these 5 things, like, okay, I knew about this one, I didn't know this one, I didn't know this, I never even heard of this one. so now as you put out more content, you are the resource. Right? So they're coming to you for better information. And as you build your brand, as you build your connection with them, where else are they going to go to solve that problem? Because you've been helping them along the way. Let me go to the next one. So when we're talking about doing this on Alignable, right? Your hub content, this is how you attract your tribe. The things that you care about, you post about it all the time, right? This is how you attract like minds. The help content, this is how you attract the people who need you. And then you start to build genuine connections with people because you are helping them. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to help you. And because I like what I do, me helping you is fun for me anyway. So it's a win-win. The hero content, this is when we really, really separate ourselves from everybody else. This is how we earn the trust and we show our expertise. So a lot of your hero content comes out when you're having an actual meeting. So when you get in a meeting with somebody, it's your time to shine. So whatever question they have, you have an answer for them, or you can point them in the right direction for a solution. So you kill it all the way around. But having these 3 prongs in mind when you put out content, super important, so that you are not just randomly posting stuff. So I pulled a couple examples from my page of just stuff that I care about, right? And what's funny is most of the stuff that I post, I'm talking to me. I'm trying to stay motivated. I'm trying to keep my head in the game. These are the things that resonate with me, and I share it. And because I'm sharing it, a lot of people who are connected with me, they'll respond like, man, I need to hear this today. I appreciate you posting this. So it's never a thing to where we're just trying to educate the masses on the things that are important to us. But hey, listen, this entrepreneur thing ain't no joke. We have to do things to stay motivated. We have to make sure that we have the right mindset. And now, as we have these conversations with ourselves or externally, you know, it's a part of the conversation. So when we look at the number of people, the number of impressions that the posts are reaching, is fairly significant just because of how Alignable works. So when you put out a post and somebody that you're connected with sees it and they comment, then everybody that they're connected with sees it. And then if somebody else comments, then everybody that they're connected with sees it. And it just go on and on and on and on. So the algorithm is your best friend in this regard, because it'll get your message out. So if you stay consistent in how you post, now you start to build your brand as somebody that cares about the things that you care about, which only strengthens your brand. So here's an example of help content, right? So on Alignable, there are all these groups and chats, dialogues going on where people are just asking questions. Don't jump in there and say, hey, I can help you with this. Here's my information. That's spam. Don't hijack the post. Go in there and actually answer the question. And once you answer the question, you're not just answering for the person who asked the question, you're answering it for the entire group. So there are always people who are in eye distance of what's going on. They may not necessarily ask the question, but they had the same question. So when you answer the question, now here's somebody that actually answered the question. Let me go check them out and see what they have going on. And then you'll get a connection request, and now you can start the conversation directly with them. People are always watching, especially on these type of platforms. So how you conduct yourself and how you build your brand is super important. So if you're conscious of that all the time, the messaging that you put out, just know that people are seeing it. So now the more consistent that you are, the bigger you build your brand, the more people that you reach, and essentially your network grows. Finally, your hub content, right? So this presentation, hero content. This presentation is hero content for me, right? So I got all the attention. We got a whole bunch of people in here. I'm the only one talking. So I'm solidifying myself as an expert on the subject matter. I'm giving you a chance to get some insight as to my style of talking and how I coach and how I conduct myself. I got on a dope t-shirt and Malcolm X behind me. So if you like all of these things, then it's like, okay, I like him. Let me connect with him a little bit more. Let me see what other ways I connect with him. And then we continue the conversation. So because I'm a part of the group, this gives more access because you get to see me in this group. So the more active you are, the more you participate, the more you set out just authentically trying and legitimately trying to help people and show up as yourself, you can't help but win. It's just a matter of time. So as you stay consistent, you start to build more and more momentum, and then you get clients, you get customers. So as you work on your marketing, you tweak your website, your message gets a little bit better, and you keep putting out the content and showing people your growth, you will attract more and more people. It's not a very hard thing to do. It's just a lot of work. So being consistent, showing up every day, and you don't have to put out thousands of posts. I don't post 10, 15 things every day. I may post once a day, maybe sometimes, but I'm consistently showing up. So I will post a few times during the week, always. And now I'm putting out the events and I'm connecting with people. I'm going to the quick connects. I'm running my own networking events. So I'm always available in this way, and that makes me visible. And because I'm visible and because I show up consistently as me all the time, now it gives my tribe an opportunity to connect with me. And this is really all we want. So all of this will slowly build. You have to build momentum with this. It's work, and you have to engage. The more you engage, the more engagement you can build. So now just do the work, stay consistent, and you can't help but win. And that's the end of it. That's the end of it. Thank you all for paying attention. Let me stop the share. If you have any questions, raise your hand and I can call on you. And oh yeah, we got a good 30 minutes to run through it. So any questions?
Where's my hand?
You raise your hand. If you go to the reaction button and click that, and then it raise your hand. Go ahead, Julia.
Okay. Hi, Jason. Thank you so much. It was awesome. Quick question. For somebody that, most of us, we have our businesses, how much time do you put into spending your time on Alignable, connecting, posting? Like, do you have like a schedule for those of us that are like scheduled people like myself?
Yep. If you're not with a client, you should be on Alignable all the time. So it's not a thing to where you just kind of always engaged and always like harassing people or something weird like that, right? But you have certain things. So I have probably at any time, I probably got 50 or 60 things that I've seen during the course of the last couple of weeks that I can post about. So I just save all that in a folder, and when the mood strikes or or I feel it, then I'll post it. Or as I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, I may see something and then I'll share it on the Lineable. It may be something that comes up. Or maybe something that I'm going through and I figure out a solution for that and I share it, right? So here's how I feel today. And then you'll have 15, 20 people like, I'm going through that exact same thing, so it keeps the conversation going, and it makes you relatable. So you don't necessarily have to schedule out, because we have the Instagram, Facebook people, they tell you to do this content calendar, and here's your content for the month, and you're putting out all of this stuff and you don't even remember what was posted. And then somebody asks you a question of, hey, I read that article that you posted. And it was like what article? And now you got to go back to your own post to see what's on there so that you can have a conversation where you can already be in the conversation. So post when you feel it, when it feels good to you, when it resonates to you. And then now it's real. So then when somebody wants to have a conversation with you about it, now it's a real conversation and it's natural. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Yvette.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. And Jason, thank you for doing this. This was really wonderful.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you a question. It may not be a fair one. And if it isn't, I apologize.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, do you have any more insights onto the way the algorithm works and how often they change it and whether or not we're privy to that at all?
That's absolutely not a fair question. I wish you didn't ask. No, I'm just kidding. The algorithm is always different and it changes a lot. And it's not really something that gets released, and I'm just speaking from the standpoint of how I watch it, right? So I'll have a day where I put out a couple of things and all of a sudden I got people from Canada all over my page. And it's like, all right, how did it get to Canada today? So then you start backtracking who commented where, and then you go to their page to kind of see who they are in contact with, who commented on that. And then you can kind of see where it goes. But I think that's a question that you can ask support. If you go on your main page, it's a support tab all the way on the left. And pose the question to them, I'm pretty sure they'll just tell you.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because you change what you do based on what these platforms are what biases they have on the computational end. So I just wanted to see if you had any more. But if you do, if you find out anything, share it with us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I like finding out the information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Louis.
Yeah, Jason, thank you, man, for this wonderful time that you spent putting everything together. It really has helped. One of the questions that ran through my mind was, you talked about the need to not be salesy and not to try to educate the masses, but to just really try to educate your target audience. And so when we talk about that, I guess I wanted some more detailed information. Because when you have these different social platforms, you can create, your groups, you can try to get your target audience together, you can do all these different things. But when you want to really, you want to come off like, I'm doing this genuinely to help people. And so I guess that's where I struggle. How do you come off like, okay, this is my genuinely concern. I'm genuinely concerned about this topic. I genuinely want to help you about this topic. But in order to do that, I kind of got to educate you a little bit about the topic. So how do you kind of, not blur those lines?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So number one, most people don't want to be educated. They don't care. They just want the problem to go away. I don't want the labor pains. I just want the baby. Right. So they don't care about all of it. So it's important to us because look at all the years it took us to acquire this knowledge. So we sit here like, yo, I'm dope. Like I can tell you 900 ways where you can do this one thing. They don't care. So now let me point out some problems that I know you have. I know you got this problem. And they go, yep, I got that problem. It's just like, y'all ever see the Cat Williams joke where he was talking about the infomercials that come on for the pharmaceutical companies, and they say, do you go bed at night, wake up in the morning? Why, yes, I do. That's really the only reaction that you want. Do you have this problem? Yep, I got that problem. Do you have this problem? Yep, I got that problem too. Okay, here's 3 ways that you can fix this problem. They're gonna go, thank you, because I didn't know that you could fix that problem. What they don't know is that what they just did is expose themselves that they have 17 other problems too that you know how to fix. So we drop Jews here and there. We give them just enough so they know that they don't know what they're doing, that they know that this is a real problem. And then now they come to you for the education. So now when they come to your page, they set an appointment, they go to your website, they start to follow you on different stuff. Now they want the education and they show up for it. So when you talk now, they're listening. But when you're posting on your page and you're hoping that they see it, now you're only talking to that 3% who were looking for you in the beginning. So you just ran into that 3% and now they're going to have a conversation with you. The other 37%, they just floating around. They're not ready for it yet, right? So, and that other 60, they wasn't listening to no one. So when we have to be careful on how much information we put out, because that's kind of overbearing. And when you try to educate people who don't want to be educated, now it feels salesy. Now you kind of pushing an agenda. So now what's this angle that you playing? Why are you trying to help me so much? Why do you care? How much money you charge for this? It's got to be a lot, because look how much you talking about. So now instead of earning the trust, now they don't trust you, because now you're giving them too much too fast and they can't digest it. But if you give them just enough to expose the nerve and say, okay, well, come over here. I'm doing a workshop on Sunday. And then they come to the workshop. Now they're ready to learn. We're doing a thing on Alignable, in 2 weeks from now. You got 260 people sign up for it. 83 like, yeah, I'll show up. Let me hear that. So people will show up. People want the information, but they want it when they want it. And if you try to put them on your schedule, they're going to reject it every time.
A thought about that. The brother just said, like, which one do you do and how much, and balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think about elementary school, middle school, recess. I kid you not, when you go to recess, you just want to go play. You don't want to learn anymore. You just want to go play and run around with your friends for 15 or 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And since my mind works with who can I listen to today? Who can I give to today?
Mm-hmm.
Who can I serve today? Who can I love today? That's in my mind before I see anybody's face. And then I set a goal, 10 to 15 connections, emails, SMS, face-to-face, telephone. And then I go, did I have my 10 to 15 today? Yep. So my mind, when I'm thinking of people, is giving, listening, loving, and serving them. Mm-hmm. And if I can play back what they told me, and they heard me repeat what they said, they're going to remember that. My goal is to help dads. I don't shove the problem in their face. I know what the problem is. I don't know you. Don't talk to me. What do you want? I don't know you. So I just reveal. Here's who I am. I'm prideful. I'm arrogant. I'm selfish, and I'm independent. There's not one guy on the planet that doesn't relate to that. They won't say it, but we think that by ourselves. So I just say, here's where I was arrogant today. Here's what I learned from Jason today, and then I'll post what I learned from Jason. Because if I'm thinking it and I'm living it, and you see consistency all over the platforms, you see the same thing. At some point, if you need to talk to a Black man, Latino man, you're like, hey, Brian, man, I got my dad is struggling. Can you, yeah, sure, put him online. And I'm at recess again. So really, it's your heart before you see anybody. Are you there to give, listen, love, and serve? Notice I didn't say sell anything. It's heart. People pick it up. Yeah. If I'm lying right this minute, you'll go, oh, who doesn't? Shut up. Well, I'm not trying to lie. I'm just trying to say how I relate to people is listen to them, give to them, serve them, and love them. Just a thought.
Outstanding. Good job, Brian. Good job, Brian. Damien.
Yeah, thank you for that, Brian. And thank you for your presentation, Jason. Mine is just real quick about Alignable. Can you post videos on your own page? I'm not seeing that.
You can.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you just drop it in for it's got to be a link. So
okay.
you drop the link first, and then it'll pop up, and then erase the link, and then type your text.
So it needs to be like on Facebook or Instagram or something.
It's got to be like YouTube, or you can do it on You can drop it into like your Google Drive, and then you can create
Okay.
a link from there,
All right.
and then
All
share
right,
the link.
cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Got you. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Brian.
Yeah, first of all, Jason, I've watched you a couple of times on a few of these Zoom calls here, so I appreciate the information you disseminated. Brian Hill, I can co-sign on everything you just said. I'm one of them too, man. I will say, Jason, to what you've mentioned so far, I've had the same thing given to me, or what was said to you, what you've said to us so far, said to me by someone else who does the whole social media networking and what have you. And as much as we want to inform people about the good and what we're doing and the need to do X, Y, and Z, people don't want to be educated until they're made to laugh or thought-provoking, or as you say, expose the nerve on something. And in what I do, you know, I help people with financial planning, estate planning, and investments, the whole bit. A lot of what I do is education, because a lot of people don't know. And he's telling me, regardless of what you want to do, you have to treat people to some degree like kids. They have to be entertained or drawn into something that you're saying. Then you can hit the educational piece. And I was like, you're kidding me. So they don't need to know all this wonderful stuff about investing their money? No, you educate them that on the back end. So it really got me to shift how I post on different platforms. Obviously, LinkedIn is very informational driven, and it's very structured a certain way. Whereas, you know, my Instagram and Facebook, there's some latitude of having some humor when it comes to retirement planning. You know, some humor when it comes to, you know, what a mutual fund is and so forth. So I'm making that transition as we speak and as you articulated earlier.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, especially when you talk about on the financial sector, you know, that whole conversation is boring. And then it's one of those things to where you just exposed as to how broke I am. I thought I had money until we start having this conversation. So it's an uncomfortable conversation for most people. And all of the information is very much needed. So how do we have this conversation in a way that it feels good and it makes sense and they keep coming back for more? So the goal is to make them keep coming back as opposed to trying to give it all at one time. So where a lot of people go wrong, they'll put out this post, you know, and it's a whole white pages on how to build out your portfolio. And if you read the 36 pages, you got it. It's great information, but I'm not reading that today. I'll download it and I'll come back to it, and they'll never come back to it. Right. But if you give them a jewel here and there, and then over time they've read the whole thing, you know. But you got to spoon feed them, and there's so many things. I heard a stat not that long ago where it says that we are bombarded with 70,000 impressions and advertisements per day. So while I'm getting hit with all of this flashy stuff, that I like that, and I like that. Oh, that's a sweet car. Yep, that looked good. I wanted that sandwich. That was funny. And now here you are in the middle trying to educate them about something that's not sexy at all. Right? So it's hard to keep their attention. You know, so this is why we build the brand and we attract them to us, and then they come to us for that conversation. Now they're ready for it, and then we can keep going from there. Makes perfect sense, though. Go ahead, Rita.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Thanks for the great content today. I'm in the space the same as Brian. I am a retirement planning coach, and in the financial space, and just like anything else, what I've found that I've had to do, particularly that with finances, because people don't want to talk about money, that is a private thing because they have to reveal, is taking it in snippets, taking some of the subjects and then giving information about it, but also bringing myself into the picture of that I've been through the same thing. So when they have heard that and become comfortable that, oh, wow, she's been there, that starts to, of course, build a brand and the trust. And so then also what I found is that when I got very clear on what I'm promising to help you with and how I do that, that turned it around with me seeing more people at webinars and people coming out of the blue saying, I'd like to know more about your coaching program.
That's it. That's it. Outstanding. Outstanding. You know, the conversations that you're having, this is what pulls people in. So when you're talking about it from I've been there, I understand what you're going through. That makes it that much more relatable. At the end of the day, you want all of these potential customers to go, you get it. You get it. You understand me. You know what I'm going through. And if they feel that way, now they're open to move to the next step of that customer journey. Outstanding. Outstanding. Susan. No, I'm not saying that right. Say, oh yes, I did.
No, it's
Suyan?
Suyan. It's Suyan.
Suyan. Oh, you got the thing right there next to it. I can't read. my apologies, Suyan.
That's okay. That's okay. It's too funny that you said that you can't read, because that is the very thing that I would say most people don't, I don't say can't, but don't read. And would you say it has to, and I relate to this at my full-time job, that people don't read because they're inundated with, like, we're in the information age, and we're just inundated with information, like from emails to, I mean, all over the place. And if you don't capture people's attention with something that, you know, to the point, quick and to the point, you know, you're gonna lose them. So I just wanted to just chime in and say, one, this is really great, and I appreciate you taking the time to share all of this with us. Great job. And yeah, I just wanted to say that's something I relate to, because I'm like, people don't, you can send them, they don't. So the spamming and all of that, people are not paying attention. They're not gonna read it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
just thanks so much for sharing.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Sunday.
Yeah, thanks. This was really good. I have a lot of questions, of course, in my mind, because I'm sort of transitioning my company. Is, you know, I did lots of project management and strategic planning and things like that. And there were, you know, a number of common things that I noticed in the work that I'm doing. And so I'm sort of trying to transition through the whole process of recognizing the interconnectedness of spirituality, leadership, and business, and that they're all so very connected, and that whole need to be aligned with values, and your values, of course, being based upon your beliefs and so on and so forth. So this year, I've decided that I'm going to start doing a newsletter that will actually show the interconnection between those things. And what I've done is that I've just basically posted a link for those who might want to read it. But my question is whether I should actually be taking snippets or comments from it and posting when I post, as opposed to whoever would like to, you know, this is the link, I'm making connections with people, I'm talking and that sort of thing. And what's the best thing to do, just to, you know.
Makes sense. So there is no best thing to do. You have to do it your way, and it has to feel good. And if it feels good to you, it'll feel good to your tribe. Let's start with that. So you have all of these people, these marketing gurus, and they'll jump up and I'm like, I can get your business to $100,000 in 6 months. How? You don't even know what I do, right? And they'll tell you, here's the best way to market. Here's the best way to do. How do you know this without any data, right? So we have to do it your way first. It has to feel good. You have to show up as yourself and be 1,000% authentic. Now, we then take that information from your newsletter and breaking it up into little posts here and there. And it's like, if you like that, come on back to this newsletter. Click the link and you can sign up right here. You know, you'll see it a lot on YouTube now, where people will put out a video and then they'll take that video and cut it up into 5 different things. And now it's in the shorts. So you'll watch the short, and you may not sit there and watch the whole 30-minute video, but you can watch all of the shorts at different times, which means they got 5 different views from you instead of just one. So everything is an impression. So we have to think about that. If you see me on something, and that's an impression, you saw it. And if whether you did something with it today or not is irrelevant. You saw me. And then the next thing that come out, you see me again. And then I'm gonna pop up on something else. You can be like, man, I see this dude everywhere. Yep. What does he do again? Oh, here we go. Let me go to this page. Let me go to this website. Oh, he got something going on Alignable. And now you're here. So all of these things go together, and it's just breadcrumbs, right? So it's not like you're going to post something one day and you're going to get like 15 clients from that post.
Mhm.
You're going to have to post 50, 60 things to get a client, but they'll start to slowly stream in more and more and more. And now people are asking you questions. And I think that's the best thing. And this is how you know that you've become an expert to them. When they say, hey, let me run something by you. And it's like, okay, I'm the authority on this for you. And so cool. So I've done all this marketing that I put out has done its job. I've built my brand with you. So you're having all of these little conversations at the same time. So we're not talking to a million people. I'm talking to this particular person. I'm talking to my tribe one at a time. So whatever part that they catch, then I was just talking to you that day, right? So when they're ready to have that conversation with you and they come back to you, you can jump right into it and engage with them because it meant something to you too. So now when you start talking about core values and spirituality and how all of this comes together, we all need that. That's why I'm Jason Integrity. Integrity is my #1 core value. And I need to tell everybody that in the beginning, because I'm not doing nothing shady. I'm gonna do the right thing. And if you're shady, I'm calling you out. So this is who I am as a person. So I highlighted in the very beginning. That way there's no confusion on how this is going to go. And I'm going to naturally attract the people who stand for integrity. And if they don't stand for integrity, they're not going to come nowhere near me. So we all save time. So the more you are yourself, the better.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? You know, this is super dope. I like when we are able to come together like this. We got a couple of events coming up. We got I'm doing a book discussion. We're doing if y'all haven't seen it, we're doing the miseducation of the Negro first. I can't wait to talk about that. So we're gonna have, that's gonna be Thursday. I'm very much looking forward to that conversation. Everything that we're putting together and using Alignable as the platform to build is about build a community. Let's come together. Let's have some real conversations. Let's love on us, like Brian was saying. How can we love ourselves better? So I like to show up in here and let's just be you. That's all I require. We're not fronting for nobody. You know, take your shoes off and let's have this conversation. So as we work on the things that we are not necessarily strong in, we have a community of people who know how to do it. You know, there are a lot of marketing people within the group. You know, as you connect with people and have a conversation, figure out which one who works what best with you and the energy that you like to have. You know, there are 1,000 people on and doing marketing. There's 1,000 social media people and website people. Find the one that fits you and how you want to move and you can connect with. So when you say, here's my vision, and they go, I don't know what you mean, then go to somebody else who can see your vision and they can take it out your mind and put it on this website. You know, so all these things go together, and I like bringing everybody in so we can have these conversations, because it all comes down to, you can't build your tribe if it's not your voice. So if you're not putting it out there the way that you want it to be, then it's all gonna sound funny and be weird. And if you just copying and pasting other people's voices, then it's never going to be consistent and feel right for you. As I glitch out like Max Headroom, but so the whole thing is for it to feel good to you first, 100% of the time, and then we have these dope conversations. And now we got the mastermind coming up too. So bring your questions for that. For everything in business and mindset, and we're going to crowdsource it amongst ourselves. It's going to be super dope. And anybody else got any questions? Right, all right. We finished 10 minutes early. We're killing it today. So thank you all for coming. I appreciate your support and your participation. If you want to connect with me, in the post for this event, just say connect with me and I'll send you a connection request. That way you get to save your connection credits. Just say connect with me, Jason, or something in the post, and I'll connect with you and save your credits. Yvette.
Hey, Jason, I just wanted to remind everybody that you can get the chat by clicking the 3 buttons, if you don't mind telling them that, Jason. Some people don't know that trick.
Yeah. If you open up the chat at the bottom, you got to be on a computer to do it. You can't save the chat from your phone. But click the chat and open it up. It's 3 dots at the bottom. You click that and click save chat. It's right next to the smiley face. And it'll save the chat to your computer. It'll save in your Zoom folder, in your documents. So yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to ask really quickly, were you sharing this presentation? I know someone asked that you recorded.
Mhm.
Will this be shared as well?
Yeah, I'm going to create a link for it, and I'm going to put it right back in the event chat. So I'm going to post it right in there.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy that people want the information. Everybody got
really good, really good.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. I'm glad you got takeaways from it, you know. But when you're putting out your content, that help, hub, and hero, it will not steer you wrong. Everybody get a chance to save the chat? Hold on, let me save it too in case somebody missed it. So all right, Sam, I'm gonna connect with you. I'll go through the chat. I saw a couple other people that wanted to reach out. So we got some networking events coming up too. So that we can have these conversations, do the quick connects, some one-on-ones, so we can build out our networks. It's gonna be dope. So when we have these events, man, show up. You gotta engage to build engagement. So show up, be here, meet people, and keep the conversation going. The more you do it, the more you'll attract your people, and you'll kill it after that. So I love you all. I see y'all at the next event. Thanks so much for showing up. Oh, hold on, don't leave yet. I gotta take a picture. Man, I almost forgot. All right. Let's get Big Cheese. If somebody need to go do the makeup or something before I take this picture, everybody good? let me snap a couple of them because somebody gonna be looking crazy. And I want to post a crazy looking picture. All right. Thanks so much, y'all. I'll post all this in the group as soon as it finishes downloading. And I'll see y'all at the next event.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome.
Bye, Jason.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. You're the
Thank you,
man, Jason.
Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason, as always.
Bye-bye.